Hello, we are going to talk about 11.8 modeling and problem solving. So we're going to talk about the difference between vectors and scalars, right? So a vector is something that has both size or magnitude, because magnitude is the same thing as size. So size and direction. So we need for something that has to be a vector, it has to have magnitude and direction, size and direction, and that's what a vector is. But a scalar is just something that has magnitude or size. So that's what the difference is. So let's give kind of an example to kind of see the difference between it. So let's say if I go from point A to point B, let's say point A to point B, right? And let's say I traveled a distance of, let's say, 10 meters. So you went a distance of 10 meters, right? Now, that 10 meters, that distance, right? The distance between A and B, is that a vector or a scalar? Obviously, that's a scalar, right? It's a scalar, and we refer to that as distance, right? So this is distance. So that's what a scalar is. It's the distance between A and B is just 10 meters. But then if I give you a direction, let's say if I say 10 meters to the right, well, now it has it has a size, it has magnitude of 10 meters, but it also has a direction. So now this is a vector, right? And what do we refer, this scalar we refer to as distance, right? 10 meters, this scalar is our distance. This one here is what we call displacement. So we've shown that, 10 meters, that is a scalar quantity, and it doesn't have direction, just has a distance, right? And if we tell this that we traveled in a certain direction, this is a vector quantity, right? So that's the difference between a vector and a scalar. Now, let's suppose that I told you that I traveled this amount of this distance in a certain amount of time. Let's say if I say 10 meters, I traveled 10 meters in 2 seconds, right? Well, that would be 5 meters per second, right? Now, is this a vector or is this a scalar, right? This is, since it's I didn't give a direction. I just said I went between the 2 points. I didn't specify that I had a direction, so this is a scalar, right? And what do we call this type of scalar, where this is just our speed, right? So this is a scalar quantity, and it's what we refer to as speed. Now, what if I give this a direction? Let's say if I say, well, this same situation, what if I go, it's 5 meters per second to the right? What is that going to end up being? Well, that's going to be, now I've given, is it a vector or a scalar? Well, now I have magnitude, but I also have direction, so this is a vector. And this is what we call our velocity. And this is our velocity. So that's the difference between there is a difference between speed and velocity, and the difference is that speed is a scalar quantity, and that vector, a velocity, is a vector quantity. And there you go. So, and just to recap from the book, and it says distance is a scalar quantity, displacement is a vector quantity. Speed is the scalar quantity that considers only magnitude. So when we have speed, like we said above, 5 meters per second, we didn't have a direction, it's only the magnitude. But velocity is a vector quantity that must consider both magnitude and direction. So we have both magnitude and direction. So that's what the difference between speed and velocity is. And now acceleration is the change in velocity. This change can be in magnitude speed of the velocity or in the direction of the velocity. So in our next video, we'll see some problems dealing with speed, distance, and velocity. Sound good, guys? Thanks.